Hello. Welcome to another episode of this podcast. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast that we haven't picked a name for because we haven't decided yet. So we need y'all's help to pick a name for this damn podcast. So leave it below. Can you leave comments on podcasts?
Where it's gonna,
Okay.
yeah, we can.
Yeah, I didn't know if you could leave comments on this.
Clearly, we don't know what we're doing yet.
This is our first time.
Well, actually, it's not our first time.
No, we've been trying to get this dialed.
This is like the fourth one we tried to get going.
But Boom's still learning how to use the cameras, so
yeah,
we're just trying to get this dialed in. We haven't decided on a name, so help us decide a name on this podcast. Help us out. This is raw and uncut with two guys that have 10 plus years of experience in the stunt scene. So if you hear from us, we have the experience. You got to trust and believe that we know what the fuck we're talking about.
I mean, I could talk about it, but most of the time I suck.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you don't swallow, that's fine.
Whoa.
Pause.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about a lot of shit that's controversial, a lot of shit some of you may not like, some of y'all may love. But, I mean, it is what it is. It's not your podcast. It's our fucking podcast, so deal with it.
By the end of this, it'll just be us talking, nobody watching.
Yeah, I'll probably have one person subscribe.
Yeah, they can be like, fuck these guys.
But that's fine. No big deal. I just got back into the stunt scene. I took a 4-year break. It's been that fucking long. I just got done building my F4i.
Brand new
24, new year, new me, new bike.
Yep.
So, I'm going to see if I still got it. What's the longest break you've been on? Not relationship-wise.
I was about to say, we got to clarify on that one. I want to say from like 2017 to like 2020 is like it was a good like break for me. I was actually moving from New York to here, just trying to get my life in order. So that was probably the longest break.
Yeah, I sold the F4i in like 2019, and then some kid selling it again, so I bought it back. So I've had the same bike pretty much like 8 years.
Hell yeah.
The longest relationship ever.
Yeah, but you know what? Those are the only ones that'll treat you right.
Yeah, that's it.
You know?
I mean, they'll beat the shit out of you, but they won't call the cops. So it's a plus.
You might get caught with the cops, but
fingers crossed. I've always been on an F4i. I've always been a Honda guy, unless it comes to the 1000s. It's always going to be the ZX10. And Tommy's the complete opposite.
Yeah, actually. I mean, I started back in the day. I started on the F4i, and I had a couple. But once I went to the 0304, I never really went back to the Hondas until recently, until I built the my 2014 CBR 1000.
Why'd you get the Honda 1000, not the Kawis?
I mean, honestly, I feel it. All right, so I have a problem. I like being different, and that's always the issue. Because now nobody's ever really stunted one of those out, so trying to get parts for it was like impossible.
Yeah.
But I had that bike when it first came out, and I always liked it. You know what I'm saying? Like it had like that low end power, but it was stock. So I was like, let me just try, stun this thing out. Yeah, and it worked out. I mean, it's cool. I still don't have a handbrake or anything on it.
Did they make a bracket for it?
Nah, so nobody's ever. So there was some dude in like Brazil that had made a bracket for one. I tried contacting them, and nothing ever came about it.
You got to use the Google Translator app.
Yeah, I probably should have did that. But whatever, I kind of gave up on the handbrake thing on it, and then I ended up just building the new gen. Yeah. So I mean, it's pretty much just a stock 1000 with cages. And
you're gonna stretch it?
Probably.
You should.
Yeah.
It's a whole different.
That's your fault.
100%.
That's your fault.
100%. Because every time I post on the 10 and it's stretched, people like, scrape it, especially your ass.
Oh yeah.
Scrape it.
Yeah.
Fucking show me how to scrape it.
Well, I mean, there's been a few people that scrape some stretched thousands.
Only person I've seen is landing gear on his
Ryan, yeah.
On his Gixxer 750.
Yeah. Is it a 750?
I want to say it's a 750. I'm not.
We're gonna have to ask him, because I think it might be.
It might be a 1K.
Yeah, I know. I know, for instance, like Chill Gill, his Driftzilla. I know that's a 750.
Yeah.
But yeah, either way, I mean, stretched. stretch scrapes are
different.
Yeah.
100%. I don't see how people can come back, and I'm not trying to find out.
Yeah. I mean, even on my CBR though, like that tail, like if you look at it, it's deep.
It's deep. Yeah,
It's deep. So when I go to scrape it, like I'm almost looking, I could almost see what's behind me.
Yeah.
It's pretty deep.
Yeah.
So I mean, your stretch shouldn't be too hard.
I think you should two-step it too, though.
That bike needs it's gonna get a rebuild soon. So
you've been saying that since last year.
Yeah, man. See the way that everything else is set up, I just keep building new bikes.
Why do you stick with the Kawis though? Because they're fragile as shit. I mean, the only thing you're really buying is the motor, rims, and fork. Yeah. Everything else has to get replaced.
Yeah. So I don't know. I like with the new gens, for some reason, once I jumped on it, it felt like just super comfortable. I think like it's almost like a cheater bike. Right. Obviously, I don't feel like there's any bike that you're just gonna buy and just throw a cage on. Yeah. I mean, besides the F4i.
No, the FZ and R7. I think those are the two bikes that you can buy, throw a cage on it, and you're out the door. Dude.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, the frames and subframes are still
they're trash.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're still doing almost the same thing with that. You still got to throw gearing and all the other bullshit. So,
but the thing is, like, so I want to say like 2 years ago, I went to KevTech and he had a full FZ frame there, and because one of the guys, I guess because there's so much power and such a shitty frame and setup, that the torque from the motor actually bends the frame from doing wheelies and shit like that. So Kev was trying to figure out a way to reinforce it, and same thing with Billy, trying to figure out a way to reinforce everything so that doesn't happen. But if you go out, I mean, I'm pretty sure I've been told everywhere you look, every FZ and R7, all of the frames are tweaked. Their subframe and swing arm are tweaked one way or another.
So I mean, like I said, I don't think there's any bike that you're gonna go out and buy and just be like, all right, besides the F4i. Yeah. But I mean, anything that's from this century, But yeah, the Kawi, dude, like it was one of those bikes. It's a cheater bike, like you get on it, you do whatever you need to do to it, and
I think the only reason people buy them is because they keep coming to newer ones. I think that's the only reason.
Yeah, I mean,
they're all the same though.
Yeah, pretty much from I think the frames. Yeah, well, shit, 07, the frame all the way to current is the same thing.
The only thing they changed was like the tank position, right?
Yeah, I know 07 was like they had a whole bunch of different shit, but the actual frame and like motor mount is the same thing. I guess they figured it out and they just kind of stuck with it. Obviously they're more into racing and stuff like that.
But it's crazy because like people still fucking buy them when it's the same shit you can get for 3,000. Yeah, exactly.
That's me.
Ridiculous.
Well, no, I'll tell you what. Honestly, I didn't like the 13 to 18 for some reason. Like the subframe is a little longer. I don't know what it was. I just never really liked those.
I don't like any Kawis. I've ridden them. I've ridden the new ones. I've ridden the older ones. I had a 0304. I think that's still like the best bike all around that you could get, minus the power aspect that you get out of the new one.
Yeah, well, the power is definitely different. Yeah. I mean, the 0304, I had that bike for years. It never really let me down. But once you get on the newer bikes, you got that power. Right. And then honestly, too, like just having the newer technology, like, nicer cluster, quick shifter, the newer look. Like, if you're really just want to be a lot rider, you don't care about none of that shit, then yeah, I mean, probably 0304.
100%. The only thing is the 304 price for the motors have never changed. They're still like $1,500 for a motor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you might as well find a whole damn bike and just go with the whole bike. Motor space.
I mean, I feel like that goes for the 0304s and the F4is.
F4is. I mean, you still get motors for $500.
Well, you get the motor, but I still see these dudes trying to get a 4,500. Like, dude, get out of here, bro.
I see a lot on Facebook Marketplace where it's like $4,500 fully built, and it's a stock tank.
Yeah,
yeah,
fully built.
Yeah, you got stock forks on there, bro. Nobody wants to pogo sticks on the front.
And then, like, really, like, what is fully built nowadays? Like, everybody just says fully built.
I mean, I think to me, fully built is a steel frame, steel subframe. I mean, Kawi wise, steel subframe. I mean, tank, everything, clip-ons, all that shit.
DirtBars.
DirtBars, 100%.
He said, "Clip-on DirtBars." Yeah.
So why do people hate fucking dirt bars? I don't get it. I know Guru calls them fucking handlers.
Yeah. Honestly, I've heard a lot of mixed reasons. Some people just like say that they don't like the way they look, or dirt bars aren't meant to be on street bikes, which I mean, neither are the clip-ons that we use.
Yeah. But that's the thing, like dirt bars are comfortable as hell, and like being wide and having a wider stance on it is way more comfortable. And like me being 6'1", it's hard for me to pull through to like high chair 50-50 on clip-on.
Yeah.
How close my hands are.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I'm not the tallest guy, and
But-
I even with the clip-ons, I definitely have issues pulling through. But I just feel like I mean, I've ran clip-ons on different builds. I've ran dirt, and I mainly run dirt bars. But I mean, for me, the dirt bars are always a go-to, and
100%.
and even with the look wise, I feel like if you build your bike the right way, it's gonna look good.
Finally, we agree on something on it.
Yeah, maybe.
Dirt bars all day.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you can set them, and then dirt bars are like $50 compared to $100 plus on clip-ons, unless you buy the solid bars.
Yeah, that, or like even if you're out on a ride, and you can go into a cycle gear.
Yeah,
this is not sponsored by Cycle Gear, by the way.
Not at all.
but
But
you
Cycle
can,
Gear, holler at us if you want.
if you want to. This is the free one. But you can walk into there and just buy a set of dirt bars. God forbid, like you're out on a big
Bench,
ride,
anything like
you
that,
bust your ass, you bend your shit,
Yeah.
like slap
Instead
them.
of calling RSC or whoever to get
Yeah.
to do bar ends and shit like that. But I think they sell them at Ace or some shit like that, the solid ones. It's like, I remember back in the day, you used to be able to go buy the solid bars to
Yeah.
replace them and shit.
Well, it depending on what kind of clip-ons you got, though,
True.
because you got other companies that have the certain ones.
Impact shit makes fucking where you have to buy them.
Yeah, I mean,
Their shit's dumb. They have a little starfish at the end of their shit. That's what I have on my ZX10 that
and
I've
then
been trying to get rid of.
they come loose.
Yeah,
after a
they come
while.
loose like a motherfucker. I just think that too many adjustments on shit is just it's gonna cause
Yeah.
more issues down the road.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely. Understand.
Just like what was the other company? Like SS Moto, they made like where you can move your calipers around the whole bracket and shit like that. Whereas like, cool, now like you only need to have them set one time.
Yeah, that's it. Once they're set, like that's where you
Yeah.
want it. You
I don't go to a ride and be like, oh, I'm gonna move this caliper a little bit lower, move this one. It doesn't matter. It's fucking stopping.
I mean, then again, there are some weird people out there. I've definitely seen some shit like where people are full blown like adjusting their bike different right before a ride. Like,
ridiculous.
don't do that.
I think that's hilarious when people like show up to rides and like, oh, let me work on this, let me fix this real quick, and then you go out and ride, and it's like, yo, that is the sketchiest shit ever because you're trying to adjust what you just did.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely done some last minute builds or some adjustments, but there's some dudes out there that are full blown like swapping bars, front ends, and shit. Like, hey, listen, if you want to do that, that's cool, but I'm not gonna ride next to you.
No, I remember. I'll never forget. So I had the WR250, and I just took it apart, powder coated it, and then I didn't even get to test ride it. I put it on the truck, and I drove to Chicago, and then like the first hood ride, not even a hood ride. I think it was like a Thursday. Went out, and I was killing it on limiters for the whole time before I powder coated it. And I went out, hit limiter, and my clutch wasn't adjusted the right way.
Hell yeah.
And I hit rev limiter, and then my clutch, I let my clutch out a little bit because I was coming down, and it just threw me on my ass.
Yeet.
I got hit by David Baugh on his bike. I'm sliding on my hands and knees in the street, and then his bike just comes and hits me in my hip. I had no idea what the fuck happened. But yeah, I'll never go back to adjusting anything prior to a ride.
Yeah, I've definitely, I've actually done that before a couple of years back. I had the joke rider set up, and you could put the 3-4 pistons.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, let's see what the 2-4 piston handbrake thing setup is, And I was out in the streets because mainly road streets,
Right.
and I dropped back, and we were coming to everybody was turning, so I dropped back and I just tapped that shit way too much, flipped over the bars, right? And I thought I was good. Like I was sliding, but then all of a sudden I felt my arm just kind of pulling, and I'm like looking, it's my boy TJ, his front wheels literally on my arm, dragging it. And I just enough pulled my arm out, and I got up. He was like, oh my God. He's like, are you okay? I was like, I'm good.
I had no idea David hit me, and then I'm like, dude, I'm fine, but like my hip is killing me right now. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I kind of ran into
My
you."
bad.
Yeah, I think L2S had to send me the video, and he's just like, I'm sliding and just blasted me, bro.
Hell
and I just
yeah.
fucking kept rolling down the street. But yeah, don't adjust your shit before a ride,
Yeah.
like for sure.
Yeah.
And I think I did a video about that for the last Chicago. I was like, make sure your bike's always 100% before you go to rides. But nobody listens to us anyways. No big
Yeah.
deal.
I mean, and 90% of us are riding some clapped out shit anyways.
Preach.
But I mean, even if it's clapped, at least try to make sure, your brakes and like suspension at least is like decent, because that's like the main shit.
And fuel pump.
Yeah, you don't want your fuel pump. That's happened to me also.
Bro.
Fuel pump I went 50-50. This was just recent. This was last year. Went 50-50. Went to pull into high chair and bike cut off. And I was on the highway like third gear doing like 50.
Well, that's what happened with one of the riders out here. I won't say his name, but he was doing something with a cop behind him. Mousetrap. Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll tell you after. But yeah, so that's another thing. When motherfuckers crash on rides, let's talk about this whole GoFundMe shit.
Oh,
let's do the GoFundMe, because I know that's a topic that I love to talk about.
This is gonna be the first cancellation.
Yeah, this disclaimer, we don't care. So I remember there was this ride in Florida. I want to say like 3-4 years ago. I won't even say. 2 riders were involved in an accident. One got sailed through the air and landed it was on a bridge and crashed. And then the other one like crashed, and then the other one just sailed like in the air and flew it out. Now one of them, yeah.
You're gonna get me yelled at.
No, you're not. So one rider.
It wasn't in Florida though.
Okay.
But
we'll say it's in Florida.
Yeah, for
educational purposes.
Yeah.
So one rider made a GoFundMe and was crying and, oh, help me please, do this, that, and the other, blah, 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 my bike, this, that, and the other. And the other rider thugged it the fuck out, got money however that person did it. It's so hard not to say male or female. But
they them.
It them.
They them.
They thugged it out, worked it all out, community came together, got that person the bike, and then a bunch of other simps just went to the GoFundMe and cashed out money. Now, my perspective on it, if you crash on a stunt ride, that's on you.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm gonna say like this in a general aspect. Like, if you crash your bike and like God forbid something happens to you, like that's still on you.
Right. 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't have health insurance, like,
get a job.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's ways of doing it, of getting health insurance through your job or paying for it. If you're like, oh, I can't afford it, I can't do this. Okay, well,
sell some.
Maybe stunt riding should be put on hold right now, and
get your life together.
Yeah, get your shit together. I mean, granted, some people are like, oh, this is all I have. That's cool. If that's all you have, then get your shit together.
Work harder.
Yeah, like, it's nobody's responsibility but your own.
Right.
As far as your bike, that is 100% on you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to hear like, man, I crashed or somebody hit into me and this and that. Now I need to get my bike fixed, and this is my only means of transportation. Like, well, then you're fucking up.
Yeah.
You're 100%. Fucking up. Get your own shit together. Get your own. I don't know what you got to do, but get it together.
So my thing is have insurance.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, because like if you get uninsured motorist protection through insurance, that covers you and your bike. So you don't have to look like a simp going on GoFundMe and asking people for help. Because that's one thing like I pride myself on. I do my best not to ask people for help.
Yeah, listen. It's cool to ask for help for certain things.
Right.
Like mental health. Sure.
Yeah.
You need some help? Cool. But if you're asking me to support your hobby,
no.
Nah, bro. Keep it pushing, dog. Like, I mean, I don't know. I can't get behind that. Yeah. You look like an idiot.
I get like 3 GoFundMe sent a week, if that, to stunt news, and it's like, oh, this got stolen. Oh, this got broken into.
My backpack.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, get your shit.
Yo, my backpack was in.
Have insurance on your shit. You know what I'm saying?
Insure your backpack.
Geico will insure anything. You know, this phone, this microphone, your backpack, fanny pack, whatever the fuck it may be.
Man purse.
You know? Yeah, whatever. You know, so it's like, if you have insurance on your bike, like, that's one thing. If you don't take anything out of this whole conversation, get insurance on your bike. Now, a lot of people,
especially if you have one bike,
right? Exactly.
If you got one, like, and you only have one,
cover that shit.
Yeah, like, do something.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna get on there, like, oh, this is the only thing I have, cool. Make sure it's insured then.
Right.
You know, like,
and I think like people think that my mentality in it is, yeah, cool, you don't register your bike, cool, you don't have plates. That's one thing. You see what I'm saying? But insurance don't give a fuck if your shit's registered or not. Insurance is there to cover your ass if you get in an accident, if it gets stolen, or if you get.
Well, so I mean, obviously listen, I'm not saying this, but there's, you know, like, if you have insurance, like, and if it's not registered, obviously they're gonna be like, oh, they're gonna find reasons to not pay you out. But I mean, if you find another way to say that you wasn't, you know,
yeah, exactly.
If you come up with a story, they gotta believe you,
right?
You know?
No, 100%. But I mean, like, there's plenty of shit that I have that's not registered, but it's still insured.
Yeah,
just in case I do decide to pop out on it. And 90% of the time, the cops are going to say you have insurance over registration. They're going to be like, all right, we won't tow it because you have insurance.
Yeah, at least you're
somewhat reliable.
You're somewhat responsible.
Right?
Yeah,
exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, the best thing that you could take from this whole conversation is have insurance on your shit, so that you don't look like a dumbass going and asking other people for help. And it doesn't matter if it's a 2001 FRI or 2026 fucking ZX10. Like, cover your shit, because I'm not gonna share your GoFundMe unless you're dead. I'm not sharing.
Yeah, like there's definitely reasons for GoFundMes.
Right.
In certain scenarios.
Right. And it's life threatening. Those are the only scenarios.
Yeah.
That's
you
it.
know, like, I seen one dude, he posted something that he got in trouble, and the cops like said that his bike was stolen, this and that, and he was with a GoFundMe, like, help me out, blah blah. Like, dog, no.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nah, bro. Like, figure that shit out.
Yeah,
figure it out.
Shit out insurance.
Yeah, I mean, and if you have a backpack, insure your backpack, dog. Like, Dora does it.
Yeah. Her shit's $1 million bag.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That's more than a Gucci.
I mean, you have
take responsibility. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got any input on backpack situations?
No, absolutely not.
No?
No.
Okay, good.
No, I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
I mean, if you got it, yeah.
I don't think he's even following me anymore.
I mean, I don't know who he is, but if you got a
He
backpack and you put your shit down in the middle of the street, and then you make a half-hour video crying about your shit,
that was pretty whack. I think, I don't
want to hear it.
I think that if you have a problem with somebody or somebody in the scene, the last thing you should do is go to your 1 million followers and tell everybody about it. Because if that was the case, my whole fucking old page would be full of people that I don't like because of what they say about me.
Oh, yeah.
Huh? Me? There's like 4 motherfuckers that I can't put hands on because I'll go to jail for sure.
I mean,
unless I identify as a woman.
I'm a lover.
I'm just saying.
I'm a lover.
But,
I'm not a fighter. I may have put hands on people before. I don't condone it, but
I mean, I've been in plenty of situations where I've had to defend myself.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly. It was more of a
it was more of a 9-to-1 ratio. You know, I've only lost one, so it's not really that bad. You know? So not really bad. You can't take all the wins if you can't take a loss.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%.
Yeah. But so insure your shit, whether it be a backpack or a bike. You know?
And if you can't afford insurance for your backpack, zip tie your backpack to your damn body.
Yeah. Don't put shit on the ground.
Yeah.
If you really care about something, don't leave it in the streets. That's
just like the women.
Yeah.
If you care
especially
about,
the women.
If you
They're
care
for
about
the
her,
streets.
if you care about her, get her out of the streets.
Get her out. Don't save her though. Don't save her. Hold on. How about these companies that are involved with the scene that aren't even a part of the scene?
Okay. So
there's
simp companies?
Simp company. We can call them culture vultures.
Ah, yeah, there you go.
So there's a company out there that it's a pretty big company. A lot of you guys rock their fucking shit on your bikes. The guy has never clutched a wheelie in his life, not a part of the scene, just comes out and tries to do a bunch of giveaways to be noticed, shit like that, buys followers, buys content, shit like that. So my question is, how do you feel about these companies that come out and try to get what they can out of this scene without actually being in it?
I mean, so here's the thing. Like, I know there's been issues with other companies before, and they're basically just stunt riders trying to make some parts, right? So then people will complain about customer service and that and this and that. So it's like, you gotta remember, like, this is just some dude who had a welder and like a pipe bender and was like, I'm gonna make some cages,
right?
And then people want they want A1 customer service,
right?
Like,
exactly.
And then shit starts getting pushed back, and then people start going online, they're talking shit, blah blah blah. So I mean, if you do have someone that has the knowledge to make something and be able to make that product and provide the customer service, then I mean, it's not the worst.
No, not at all.
It's not the worst. I mean, there's a lot of dudes that have fully set up stunt bikes and never even popped their clutch. So
100%. Especially in LA, that's huge.
yeah. So it's like, I mean, I see it as like it would almost help, Right. I feel like it helps. I think the whole cultural vulture thing is more they try to blow their brand up with certain content, mainly from like women,
right?
Some, I guess, because sex sells, so they jump on that rather than jumping on someone that can actually ride,
right? So like one person that I truly respect and fuck with is a Cox Stunt part, Matthew Glasgow.
Okay.
But Cox Stunt part. So like he's an actual rider and he's going into the drift scene now.
Yeah, I seen he was doing the Mustangs.
Yeah. But like he's always supported riders, not just if you're killing it, but like, if you have that network, that push, that drive, you're putting in the dedication and work, and doesn't really go out and try to just sponsor females, but like he sponsors like Top Notch, UGK,
yeah,
which are guys that have been in the scene for a good amount of time and that are continuously killing it, creating content, not just for him, but for themselves.
Yeah, and progressing.
Right, exactly. Trying new shit. Or as far as like, giving one to Joe Schmo that just gives gas station videos of his bike and shit like that.
Yeah, those
content creators.
Yeah. Those 100-mile-an-hour extremely fast wheelies.
I love the fast wheelies. Let's not get on that.
Well, all right. Well, that's next topic.
But yeah, so I 100% see, like other companies that try to do a lot of giveaways and stuff like that, which is awesome. It's great that, they can help out, people that aren't able to afford their products or just trying to get their name out there. But there's plenty of more ways to get your name out there than just doing products. What about showing up to events and rides and actually being at a ride?
Yeah, no, actually pulling up and like presenting your product.
Right.
Don't have these riders present it for you. Like, they're not your spokesman. They're just showing you, hey, look, the product works.
Right.
Like, get your ass out there, get into the field. Like, it's sales. It's just like anything else. Like, get out there. I feel like back in the day, that was
the only way.
Yeah, that really was like, this was before Instagram and all the social media stuff. Like, you actually had to go on like a .com,
right?
Like HAI bike shop, you know what I'm saying? Like shit like that, or Stunt Life. Yeah. And like these dudes were actually in the field. They would come out and they would, throw their bikes on the floor and show you like, yo, listen, our shit works.
Yeah.
Get out there. I mean, it would be awesome to see more of, events from these people. Like, hey, listen, instead of doing giveaways and this and that, we're actually going to throw an event.
Right.
Like we're going to, you guys can come, you can, and ride,
the product,
see
like
it, like, and then that, I feel like that would be the good way to get this mainstream, not the other mainstream bullshit. Like
that's how you get also more respect, is by being in the scene and
100%.
not just behind the camera, especially like, videos of fools just laying their bikes down nice and gently and saying best protection in the game. Like that's not how it goes.
Yeah.
You feel
Or
that?
having like a girl knock her bike over
Yeah.
and then oh yeah.
It dropped it.
Yeah,
Oh my god. It's such a good protection.
Like
But,
this
like-
is the greatest cage ever. Like
Right,
I'm
like,
sure.
I would believe more of like Top Notch's videos with him doing the unicycle and then pancaking his shit.
37 times
Yeah.
in in one session.
Yeah, and
like,
never breaking a rear set, stuff like that, where it's like, oh yeah, we designed this with a laser level to make sure that it's the best protection for your motor. Like that's cool, bro. But I'm breaking rear sets every 3 weeks. Like,
yeah.
what the
Well,
fuck?
buy our rear sets.
Yeah,
They're
they're $900.
Yeah,
Like,
so-
what the fuck? That's more than my FRI, bro.
yeah.
Christ, dog. But like that's my biggest thing is like these people try to act like, oh yeah, we're for the scene, this, that, and the other. Where it's like, bro, you never even been to a fucking ride out outside of, let's say, California.
Yeah. I mean, I can't disagree with that. Actually get out there and show face.
Yeah,
That's really
it's like the CEOs, like like your boss can sit there and say like, oh, this how you want you to do this and that, and like, all right, cool, come show me. Like, I don't know how to do that. It's just what I was told in the
Yeah.
manual. Like, no, motherfucker, this is what really goes down out here.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
actually get out there, see the people.
Yeah.
and see and you could actually see other products and how they're used. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and then you could, I don't want to say like get ideas, but you can just really market yourself around that. Like,
Right.
okay, well, these guys do it this way, so let me try this.
Right,
you
exactly.
know?
Because not everybody posts everything on social media. A lot of
Yeah.
shit you have to see
in person. Yeah,
right?
or because if you can't stunt ride and you're not actually using the stunt bike
that you make.
that's
Yeah.
you don't really know what you're doing.
Right.
You're just kind of relying off someone else, and everybody has their preference.
Right.
Like we said, some people run DirtBars and some people only run Clip-ons.
Right.
Like that's all preference. Like my DirtBars are going to stick out further than some Clip-ons.
And it's a different bend, shit like
Yeah,
that.
when I drop my bike, my bars are going to hit first. So like you got to see all of that.
It's one of those things where I think it's okay to get high off your own supply.
100%.
Where you got to actually be in the field to actually see how your equipment actually works.
Yeah.
So, if you're watching this, whoever the fuck you think you are that owns a company, get the fuck out of your office.
All
and
of you. You know what?
all of
you.
all
We
of you.
want to see you guys get together, throw an event,
Yeah.
and actually,
And if you throw an event and don't fucking shout us out, fuck you.
yeah.
Because we know where
We're
you
crashing
got
that
we
shit.
know where you got the idea from.
Yeah.
We will pull up. And I
Yeah.
hope it's like a cars and coffee type shit. We're just gonna burn out, so you never be able to go to that
Hell
venue
yeah.
again, motherfucker.
Hell yeah. We're going to pull it up with the thousands.
100%.
Drifting.
100%. Oh God, we can go deep. Let's talk about stunning at the meat spot. Let's not talk about fucking mop head, but we can talk about the meat spots and how to cordially pull up to them. A lot of events, like I know Chicago, right? Like Chicago's a huge event.
Yeah.
And Brian, because he's the one that hosts it, doesn't want people stunning at the hotel, where the hotel is where we meet, and that's a good way to get attention drawn to you as far as the cops. Now, yeah, the cops are cool, shit like that, but still, that brings a lot of heat. Whereas in like the last ROC, bro, that street was packed.
Yeah.
Nonstop. The street wasn't blocked off. Fools are doing their Harley fucking
Hell yeah, brothers.
a whole bunch of hell yeah brothers all
Yeah.
over the fucking place. Whereas like, you gotta respect the meat spot. Because one thing that I preach is that I will never host a ride. Ever. I'll never fucking sit there and try to get a venue, try to find a meat spot, trying to find a route, trying to find gas stations to stop in between, because it's so much stress.
Yeah, as I've done
Yeah.
a few.
Exactly. It's a
yeah.
fucking headache. And I'll never do it because I don't want 1,000 DMs asking me where's the next meat spot, what's the time, this, that, and the other. And people still did that for me when I was with WCC and doing those rides.
Yeah.
Whereas like, shut the fuck up. You haven't talked to me in 2 years, and now all of a sudden, hey brother, what's going
Hey,
on?
how's
What's
the life?
What's the info for this
Yeah.
weekend? Like, bro, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll never do that. And another thing, like I said, it goes back to the respect of the person that's hosting the ride. If they don't want people stunned at the stunt spot or on the way to the meat spot, then you just have to respect it. Now, some people say, well, what we're doing is illegal anyways. Nobody, blah, blah, blah. These rules are the trash. Like, don't show up.
Yeah. I mean, so I like on the other end of it, I've hosted a bunch of rides. I've done, a few in New York. I've done some here in Vegas. And I think it really goes on what the host says. You know, if he's like, I mean, I as far as the don't stunt to the meat spot, that is just kind of stupid because it's like,
You gotta warm up.
not even warming up. Like, I'll go to the gas station just for like leaving my house and I'm going to do a couple wheelies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to happen. Now, as far as being at the meat spot, if the host is like, hey, do me a favor, like, don't stunt, then don't stunt, because you guys don't understand how much effort really goes into planning these things. Like, some of the meat spots, like, you're actually talking to the, you know, the owners of the property, and you're like, hey, listen, they're like, listen, you guys can meet here, but just chill the fuck out and don't do anything.
Don't leave no marks on the ground.
Yeah, and then there are some meat spots where you can fuck around.
Right.
So, like, if the host says, hey, don't stunt at the meat spot, just try to respect that, especially if you're coming to their ride.
Right.
You know, like, you're coming to their ride. You guys, some of you that never really planned to ride before, it seems easy to plan. It's really not. It's super stressful. It's hectic. So it makes it a lot easier if you just kind of just respect it. And if there's some people like, hey, listen, we don't care, then
run it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna, like, trust me, they're gonna put on the flyer or whatever it is, like, don't stunt at the meat spot. Okay, that's all you had to read. Like, if you got the information to the meat spot, you also got that information.
You got the address and time. The one thing you need to look at is whether you're gonna fuck around on the meat spot or not.
Yeah, you know, and then even if it's like kind of like a monkey see, monkey do type of thing, like, you know,
which usually it is.
Yeah, you know, like, you'll get those guys that just don't care, and there's like 2-3 people, and then it's like all of a sudden now there's fucking 15 people doing.
Everybody doing.
Yeah, everybody wants to show off, like, hey, look at me, look, I could do it too.
Right. Exactly.
Try not to be that dick.
Yeah.
You know, like, if you know that they said, hey, like, no stunting at the spot, then just chill the fuck out. Like, we're gonna ride streets right after this.
That's the thing. I got I got ADHD too, so I get it 100%. I hate sitting around, especially waiting for Tommy and Tig to show up in 2 hours at their own fucking ride. Like, that shit gets me fucking pissed off because I'm like, fuck, I want to ride. Let's go right now.
You know what I think? You know what I think it is too, though. I think that a lot of people have the complex, like, they want to show you. They're like, yo, look what I can do.
Yeah.
Like,
well, bro, like, I can go to your Instagram and see that shit.
Yeah, it's like they know that everyone's chilling, everyone's looking at them, so they're like, hey, check me out now. You know, it's like nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
We're all doing the same shit.
Yeah, you're all doing Ralph Lewis and drifts.
Yeah, or we should now look at me now, know me, like, you know who I am. Like, nah, motherfucker, you ain't shit.
I do not know you.
Yeah,
nobody will remember your name.
Yeah, literally. You know, let alone like the bike that you're on.
Right. So let's talk about East Coast style versus the West Coast style. No, fuck that. Let's talk about overseas.
Oh shit.
Let's talk about the real riders that actually push the limits and ain't scared to hurt themselves with no health insurance. Why
I think overseas, I think they get free health insurance.
Only in Canada, I think.
Nah, Norway. Yeah. So I'm gonna keep it real. I really don't know the whole.
Me either. But why do you think that these guys are like 10 steps ahead of the way that we ride?
Probably because they're not a bunch of pussies.
I agree.
I feel like you know, you get those dudes that are like they're more like they're like men. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're like more manlier like dudes. They're like, you know, like, you get those like Russian guys. They're like, no,
this is vodka.
Yeah, like, you know, like they're not. They'll fight a fucking bear. You know what I'm saying? Like, then you got, you know, crybabies and all that stuff on this side.
Vodka,
you know,
and Red Bulls.
Yeah. Fucking Mike's Hard Lemonades. You know,
I think for me it's we do it. I don't want to say we, but the people in the United States do it more for the clout. No, I hate using that fucking word. More for views. I'll say views. More for content, views. Other than trying to progress at riding their bike and gaining skills and trying to progress the sport.
Yeah, I definitely feel like they're doing it on this side more for the views and like the hey, look at me type of dudes, you know. And then over there they got more love for it. Like,
bro, it's a passion for that.
Yeah, like, you know, they're really that, and they definitely, and they have a different style too. Because even like if you go like down south, like you Brazil and Colombia and those dudes, like their clutch work is retarded.
On bone stock 1000.
Yeah, bone stock 600.
Anything.
Yeah, like you see that there was that one dude on the S1000. His whole circle game is a coast.
Sit down, clutch in circles.
Yeah, like yeah, and then out here it's just like, well, this guy's doing it like this, so I'm gonna keep doing it, and just I don't know. I don't really know, man. Maybe it's something in the water out there.
I mean, I think so too, but I mean, honestly, a lot of these guys, they just aren't afraid. Like they're just comfortable on their machines. They don't go out and ride and say, "Yo, film this," or
yeah,
hey, yo,
I hate that.
I'm gonna try and do this same trick that I've been doing the same shit for the last 3 years.
Yeah, that's me. Jump this way.
Yeah, I know. But like my thing always when I started riding was I always want to try and learn something new every time I went to the lot. That was always my like go-to type thing because I always wanted to try to progress my skill because I wanted to be like those guys in the European styles. You know what I mean? Shit
yeah.
Like that. And another thing too is like if you look at like Russia or Europe, they actually have big competitions.
Yeah.
With big sponsors like Monster, Red Bull, shit like that.
Companies are behind them also.
Right. Where the money is actually there to be able to, not make a living, but actually walk away with a fat check.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that definitely does make a difference. I feel like here you have guys that like myself, like honestly, I got to a point where I'm comfortable. Like I'm probably worse now than I was, like 4 or 5 years ago. Like I got to the point where like, I just like to jump on the bike, do a few things,
right.
Like I've mastered a few tricks and I'm like, I'm cool with that.
And it's not that you're not trying to impress anybody. It's that I've been there, done that.
Yeah. Right. I've done the crazy, jumps and this and, scrape high chair and all that shit. And it's like, I'm cool with some regular sit downs now.
Yeah. I mean, there's guys that are older than both of us out there doing double.
Yeah,
still pushing the limits every time they go ride, and like that's one thing like that I think has definitely always kept my attention on other countries as far as the stunt world because like I can go on Instagram right now and I'll see the same 5 tricks between scrolling, you know what I mean? It's gonna be a scrape
with the same song because they want to get the views on the rails.
Same bike, it's gonna be a Kawis or FC. Doing the same shit and like that's one thing that's like I don't even like scrolling anymore. You know what I mean? Like even on Stunt News, like I don't even really like go on Stunt News anymore because I just see the same shit over and over.
My feed's barely any stunt riders. Like I'll follow the people that I know and stuff like that. And then if you look at my feed and my explore page, it's cars.
Yeah. Sadly, mine's mostly like big booty Latinas.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna throw that one out there, but mine's more like goth chicks and tattoos.
Mine's just chicks in other countries. For some reason, it's usually Thailand. Super weird.
Yeah.
But like I've always been influenced by European style. That's why I've got rid of the 12 bar. I put a 72 sprocket on my shit on my FRI because bro.
Cheater.
It's cheat. Call it what you want to call it, but like Stunner 13, Romaine, all those fools when they were on FRIs, they were all running 72 sprockets. So I want to know, like, all right, cool. If I set my shit up the way that they do, I might be able to ride the way they do.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, I learned the shuffles. You know what I'm saying? I did a couple of tricks that they were doing back in 2005 that I started doing in 2015.
Yeah,
but, you know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, better late than never.
Exactly. I'm a late bloomer. You feel? But like that's one thing that a lot of people like when I go to the lot with like Dizzy is a prime example. Like Dizzy, I started like, yo, do a shuffle. She's like, what the fuck is that? So I show her on the ground. She's like, I'm not doing that. I can't do that. And then like 2 days later, she's like, oh, kind of getting the concept down. But now, unless I'm at the lot, I know she's not practicing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
Cam's that guy that's like really going to talk his shit just to push you though.
Well, 100%. I will always talk my shit. And that's why a lot of people don't get likes or comments from me is because you're doing the same fucking shit. You're not progressing. You're pushing yourself. And that's why a lot of people don't invite me to the lot. You know what I'm saying? Because I will talk my shit.
Yeah.
Only reason I talk my shit is because I can do a lot of this shit that you're already doing, and like even if
you can't.
No,
still like it, like
I still want to see you do better.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
And I feel like nowadays too, like people don't get along because they're like, like, oh, this guy's such a dick and da-da-da. Like, yeah, we're dicks, but at the same time, it's like we're trying to push you. Like we want to see it. Like, cause there's times where I just want to spectate,
Right.
you know, and I don't want to see the same circles out of everybody. It's like I want to look over. I'm like, yo, this dude's doing this shit. He's doing that.
Right.
That's crazy. Like that's, you know, like when we first came into the game, and people were learning all this new shit, drifting, stoppies. This is like you're looking, you're like, this is cool.
Yeah.
But then after a while, it's like, okay, it's the same
shit over
you
and
know,
over.
but
and that's the thing, like that's for the last 4 years, because I've had a stunt bike. I would go to the lot and just talk shit. Like,
yeah,
that's all I would do. Go to the lot, jump on someone's grom, do a couple little things, just show.
I mean, I think that's also what we're good at, though, is just talking shit. Because like we'll be at like Thanksgiving dinner, just screaming at each other.
100%. 100%.
And
Boom has not dropped the full video of that.
Yeah. You've seen maybe a clip or two, but I don't even think anyone was paying attention to us.
They were when we started screaming at each other.
They're like, are they really?
They're really about to fight.
Are they really mad at each other? Nah. We were having a great time. Yeah, we were having a great time.
That's how we talk. But that's the thing. Like a lot of people take that shit to heart.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And like that's another thing that's killing the scene right now is that if you're not sitting there ego boosting Joe Schmo in the corner over there because he's doing a scrape or the same Ralph Louis circles for the last 8 months, then it's like, well, you're a fucking hater, bro.
That's me.
Yeah, I know, but still, you've been doing it for 8 years. So it's like, you know, there's a lot of softness in the scene, and I think that's one thing that a lot of people are scared to progress in this shit.
Yeah.
You know, not just fucking for the likes or shit like that, but it's like progress for yourself. You didn't get into this sport just to fucking be basic. You know, everybody saw a trick that they wanted to do. You know, whether it be a watchtower or unicycle or stoppies or one-handed drift, touch of ground type shit. Like,
yeah.
Then why not push just to get that?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like when I first started, I seen a few tricks and I was like, I'll be happy with just some circles.
Right. I said the same thing.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'll be happy with just some regular drifts.
Right.
You know, and then it kept getting more and more, and I'm like, oh, I'll be happy with just like a roller stoppie for a couple of feet. Right. And it's like you want to get more out of it. Once you start to hit those goals, it's like now you got your boy. Like back in New York, like we would go out in the streets, and then like one of my boy would like he would jump to like 50-50 or some shit, and it's like, oh shit, like I want to try that. Yeah, I want to try that now. And then he's talking shit. He's like, you're not doing that.
Yeah,
you know, you're like,
and that's what motivates you to do it.
You're like, oh, okay, cool. So now it's like you do something that he can't, and now you're talking shit, and it's just fun. It's laughs. Like, you know, a lot of people can't. I feel like because it became so mainstream now, like there's so many different people. Like you could have been a loser in high school that like got fucking bullied, and then all of a sudden you got a stunt bike. Now you're the coolest guy.
Absolutely.
And it's like, but you forgot that you're still gonna get bullied.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't run to fucking YouTube and cry about it. Like,
nah, you can.
You can, but
you're
not gonna get the respect. You're gonna get bullied again.
No, exactly.
So,
and that's the thing. Like when us growing up in this scene and stuff like that, like our OGs would always talk shit.
Oh,
you know?
hell
and
yeah.
like there was never a participation award. Like, good job today, bro. You came out, did 2 Ralph Louis circles, bro.
Yeah.
You were killing it today. Never got that from my.
Oh, like, yo, we got one of my boys from New York, Gingy. Right, he's an old school cat, and I was just in New York the other day, and he was on FaceTime with Mo, and instantly, as soon as he's like, "Look who's here," instantly talking shit. Like we're not even like, "Yo, bro, how are you?"
Yeah, nothing.
But it's all love. You know what I'm
Straight
saying?
to the
Like,
jugular.
Yeah, we're like, fuck you, you suck. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you don't want me to come over there. You know, like, all right, shit.
But that's the thing. Like, I think that a lot of people get their feelings hurt over your boy seeing more potential in you than you do yourself. You know, and a lot of people don't put in the work. Like when I wanted to learn circles, I would go to the lot 3 to 4 times a week, whether it just be an hour during the week. You know what I mean? Just to get that factor in. But like a lot of people are weekend riders. They can only ride Saturday or Sunday or this, that, and the other, where it's like you're trying to remember what you learned last week.
Yeah.
You know, and play catch up with it. Whereas like I would go consistently, you know, for at least an hour a day just to get down what I wanted to get down. And a lot of people don't have that drive anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, there's just some people out there still, like even like Jay, Supermoto Slut. He, that guy works nights, and you'll see it Vegas gets cold at night.
Oh yeah,
and this guy is at the lot recording himself. Just
3 in the morning.
Yeah, 3 in the morning. I mean, like he's recording. He wants that content.
Right.
Jay,
he tries with his stupid fucking Instagram filters that makes it look pixelated as fuck. Oh my god.
You know, but he's there by himself, even if it's for a couple of minutes, and And look how far he's gotten.
Yeah,
and
Stoppies have progressed like a mother.
Yeah, and if there's anyone that talks shit to him, it's me.
Me too.
Yeah, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like we go back and forth, but it's fun. You know what I'm saying? Like we honestly have a great laugh. Like it's not like I don't like the guy.
Right, 100%.
I genuinely see him. I'm like, yo, honestly, like this is probably the only time I'll say it. Like he's killing it. Yeah. I'm not ever gonna give it to you ever again.
His face.
Yeah, no. Once I see him, I'm like, yo, you fucking suck.
From the back.
You know? But yeah, and then also it's like, who wants to be the only one that's good out of the whole crowd? Like it's like when Vegas shows up to like a ride, it's like you want to be like, yo, those Vegas dudes showed out. Yeah, you know, like they all of them. It's like you don't want to be the one guy. I mean, I guess I don't know. Some people are just fucking selfish.
I mean, like that's for me. Like when I was living in the Bay, like you know, a lot of everybody out there was all street riders.
Yeah.
You know, whereas like I liked a lot because I like to progress in my sport. A bike was made to ride in a straight line. I'm trying to turn that bitch. You feel? So it's like. When I moved from the Bay, I went to LA because I was riding with Britain, I was riding with Johnny Boy, I was riding with so many Dusty Diesel. Like there's so many other killers out there that you know have been in XDL competitions, have the potential to be in music videos, movies, shit like that.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you're gonna sit and surround yourself around the same people, then you're not really gonna progress.
No, yeah. I mean that goes for anything, even in life. Like you sit around just regular people, that's what you're gonna do,
right?
You
know? And that's the same thing with like I've always explained to people about traveling too. You know, if you could have learned so many different styles, like I never knew how fools rode in Broward compared to New York,
hell yeah,
Texas compared to the Midwest. You know, I'm like everybody has their own style, and then when I get back home, I'm like, dude, I saw this, like I'm trying to do some style like that, you know, and try to mix it in my own flow.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest things that actually, you know, got us to start jumping around the bikes because, you know, being from New York, the style's different. Like you have that drop back, who can keep it up longer. And then it was like me and my boys, you know, we'd see YouTube videos like these dudes are like doing roll burnouts and shit like that. And then we went out to, I think it was 2013, I think was our first ROC. And we went out there, and once we came back, you know, we're like, yo, let's start trying to jump around. And people from that we normally ride with, they were looking at us like, yo, you guys, like you guys are fucking, you guys are getting good. And you're like, and it's like, you kind of mix those styles in. That was one of my biggest things was, you know, style. Like you need, like, you don't need to have, I always say you don't need to have a big bag of tricks, but if you got some style, you know, like you're going to make it look good.
Yeah. And one thing, like, style for me is a lot more than just doing C standards, you know, and fucking flamingos and shit like that. Like there's so much more style than just 3 tricks. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like a lot of people, that's what they think style is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, if you have those 3 tricks, make sure they look good.
They better be the best fucking 3 tricks.
You know what I'm saying?
World,
like if
bro.
you like, I don't do much anymore, but like you best believe if I jump the spreader, you know what I'm saying? I got my
feet
full
are
extension.
in the sky
It's a good
way.
jump. Like, you know, like make sure that shit looks good. You know, like don't just, I feel like a lot of dudes out there now are just like, well, I did the trick. It's like you did it, but it looks like shit.
Looks like shit.
Yeah, you know
looks
what I'm saying?
Like you barely put it together.
Yeah, you know, like I feel like you really have to kind of like perfect it before you can say like, oh, I'm doing it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of dudes that will jump the spreader and they got they're locked. They're either that or they're locked into the cage or some shit. It's like, yo.
The only reason you should be locked in the cage if you're going no handbrake. That's the only reason your legs should be wrapped around that cage.
Yeah.
1, because it looks ridiculous. 2, if you go down and your leg is right there, my God.
Yeah, we've seen that.
Yeah. Oh my God. It is not pretty at all.
Yeah, and the leg dangler thing, it doesn't look good. I don't care.
Not at all.
Who you are, just
I don't care what style points you think you have. You know?
Yeah, that's not it. That's not it.
Not it at all. But yeah, I mean, another thing that like a lot of people talk about is, you know, there's a lot of hometown heroes where guys that have never traveled anywhere out of state but think that they're the best in the city until somebody else shows up and then they're like, oh, fuck that guy.
Yeah. I don't even like him.
Follow that.
Yeah, I don't even like him. Whatever.
But you know, like a lot of people are too scared to leave the state. Now I remember my first event where I left my hometown of San Jose was going to LA, Murder Biz, and that was many moons. I want to say like 2013, 2012. And that was the first time that I ever saw how LA style was compared to, how the Bay style was. And that was when Capone was out there, Stunt Farm Ryan, so many other killers that I've been following for a while, and then finally get to see how they really ride. And it's like, damn, this is great. I wonder where Texas is like. I wonder what Chicago's like, and that's what motivates you to just want to travel more. Like I remember telling a lot of people this, like, it doesn't matter if you have a bike or not, like travel. Because a lot of times you have a follower that's in that state or something like that they may even let you, like, I don't got a big bike for you, but I got a grind.
I mean,
mob around,
especially if you're respected, what I'm saying? Like, and there's the community is full of, people that do show love, and they're like, people come here and they're always, Tommy, I know you got bikes. I'm like, whatever, dude. Yeah. Everybody's always like, oh, you let him ride the bike. I'm like, man, it's a bike. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, now if you start disrespecting my shit, it's like,
a different story.
Yeah, but it is what it is, man. Like, I'm out here for the experience. Like, I want to ride with my friends and shit like that.
And the last thing I'm going to do is have you sit at my house while I go ride with the boys.
Yeah, like, that just sucks, know? But I definitely agree. Like, the whole traveling thing, like, even just seeing how everybody, like, how they ride their streets, like, for Vegas, it's like, we kind of just nonstop. It's always like nonstop, and it's like you're always, and then smoke and ride, get gas. But then you got places like New York, like, we'll chill streets to one spot, get food, chill. Then we'll go to the next, like, we have boroughs.
Right.
So now you coming over one bridge, you going to the next borough, and there's like car shit going on. You're chilling there, and it's like you're actually like hanging out with your friends, and like, it's more like,
that's where you build the bond.
Yeah, and then you can go to, like, I feel like Florida, like Broward and stuff, is almost like that too, but they're riding nonstop.
Yeah, nonstop.
Yeah, nonstop.
100%.
It's when you're out there in different cities, you get to experience that, and it's cool. Yeah. I think that's definitely something that everybody should really experience.
Travel. That is the biggest thing that I could explain to everybody. Have you ever been to a different country? And don't say Mexico, because I don't count that as traveling.
So I haven't yet, but I definitely do plan on trying to get over to, like, Europe and stuff like that.
So we're going to go to Europe this year. I'll let you know the dates, because we're going to go to the infamous stunt ride. It's like
yeah.
I'll let you know the dates. Shout out to infamous stunt team. They're fucking maniacs.
Yeah, they fucking...
I want to say, like, Germany, Switzerland, France. Yeah, sure.
There's the big one in Poland too.
Yeah, Poland. They have a whole week stunt competition out there that I'm trying to make too.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely.
But you only get stuck. I'd get stuck out there for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
find me a bat.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely the overseas thing. I definitely want to. I want to get into that.
I think I've been to Jamaica, Aruba, and obviously fucking Mexico, which I don't even count. But
I mean, Mexico counts.
It does.
You can get stuck there.
There's
a few people have gotten stuck.
It's too close to Cali to be considered traveling.
Yeah, yeah. Like, we actually, our Mexico.
Well, like CJ Barham.
Yeah, I mean,
he got arrested as like a motherfucker out there. Yeah. They planted a gun on him and said they tried to shoot the police.
Yeah, that's the shit that happens in different countries.
Yeah, but the only reason they did all that shit because they thought he was Seabear. No, bro.
They said all them white people look alike.
The year before, Seabear did a video of him doing a rolling burnout in front of the feds, and like that video went viral. Yeah, so when they saw CJ fucking out there doing his shit, they thought it was him, and they tried to chase after him, and CJ don't stop, so he kept going and shit like that, and then they went and planted a fucking gun on him and said that he tried to shoot the cops and shit like that.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But I think I want to say his dad paid like $20,000 to get him out, shit like that. Where it's like that's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's that shit that happens in different countries.
Right.
If you say that Mexico don't count, I think he gonna look at you and say. That shit
I don't know, man.
he gonna look at you.
I think to me, traveling to a different country, you have to fly there because it's connected.
I don't know, bro. Mexico's Tijuana's that's third world shit, bro.
It is.
That's third world shit.
I've been there like 5 times. I know. You know what I'm saying?
I
But it's
guess.
different. But just for me, like my mindset, like a lot of people say, man, I've been to a different state. I went from Vegas to Cali. Like,
Nah, that don't count. Like
exactly.
you got,
That's what
you
I'm
have.
saying.
Yeah, no, that doesn't count. Like you gotta actually,
Put some hours in.
Yeah. I just drove from New York. I've done that trip 5 times already. I've drove from New York to Vegas. It sucks, but
it does. No, I agree.
But that's traveling.
Yeah.
You know, we've done. When we went to Chirac, I personally drove myself with the truck and trailer to the bay.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't bring the trailer. I bring the truck, picked up the trailer and everybody else's shit, and then we drove all the way out to Chicago, and then we drove back, and then had to do that whole.
Yeah, I did the same thing for Chicago like 2 years ago. I went to LA, picked up the empty legal van, came back here, then drove straight to Chicago.
That was the same year.
Yeah, by myself, and like that shit sucked. But
yeah,
it was 100% worth it because I stopped in Denver, stayed there for like 5 days, rode with the boys, did a handout ride out. We gave out food to homeless and shit while I was there and shit. And then from there went and linked up with Sit Down Steve in St. Louis, and then got to Chicago. And then like after that, I was like, I'm just going straight home. I'm not stopping anywhere.
Yeah, there's a point where you get to, you're like, I just.
Yeah, that was home. 2 weeks on the road, and I was just like, all right, I got to get fucking home. I need to see my dog. Like that's
it. yeah.
But no, I think another thing if you take from this travel, get the hell out of your comfort zone. You'll definitely feel some progression. You'll definitely get a whole new motivation for the scene, shit like that, and for yourself.
And you'll meeting new people. Like I'm close friends with a lot of people that live nowhere near me.
Bro, same. I'm I've been at I went to Aruba with High Side Joe and Mike Bradley, and I only get to see these guys twice a year. Meeting like all the guys that do the stretch shit.
Oh yeah.
The real stretch shit. Oh my god. Like the comments that I got after that was ridiculous. That's so dumb. Why would you do that? This, that, and the other. It's like, bro, that's their culture.
Yeah. I mean, we get the same comments from, the guys that ride, cruisers. Like, why would you do wheelies?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
we all just we all like to do some shit.
It's in our DNA. That's just how people do shit. Like another country is like when I went to Jamaica, like with Jesse James and Beacon, like I would have never met Biggs and half of the other guys that I know out there that are straight killing and progressing and doing a lot of great things too. Because like we've sent helmets and gloves and stuff out there for their community.
Yeah.
They're not the richest, they're considered a third world country that I'm told, you feel. So yeah, traveling is definitely a huge thing that, I think that everybody should experience if you consider yourself a stunt rider.
Yeah, definitely. I could definitely agree on that. Definitely get out there, meet people, see the different communities. And it honestly just gives you ideas too. Just, maybe you want to do something like, it kind of just inspire you to do some shit.
But so this is going to be the wrap up of our first podcast. Another thing too is I did subscribers on. It's going to be subscribers on YouTube, but right now they're just on Instagram. So if you subscribe to the Instagram, the money goes straight into the podcast until we collect all of our money that's paid for everything, because most of it's been out of our pocket. Until then. That will be where you're going to be seeing behind the scenes, exclusive content, and there will be a phone number.
Bloopers.
Yeah, a lot of bloopers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There will be a lot of content that won't be posted on Instagram or YouTube
because we probably can't.
Because we'll probably get canceled.
Yeah.
And there will also be a phone number because what the goal here is to have people call in and talk to us live. Fight with us, basically. That's what we want to hear. We want to be like the Howard Stern of the stunt industry.
Yeah.
And get your guys' opinions and argue with you. So if you subscribe to the YouTube, which link somewhere around here, make sure that, I will be asking you for your address because the first 20 subscribers to the Instagram will be getting a free pair of Only Street sunglasses. Just as my our thank you. Just to give back. And then we'll also be giving special discount codes for subscribers to a lot of different companies that will be messing with us throughout this whole podcast, and a lot of other perks that we haven't decided yet. Yeah, man. Fucking let us know if you guys have any topics you think we should discuss or bring up, because no topics off limits here. Everything's open. We're open book. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And thank you so much for the support. Make sure to share, like, and subscribe to all your homies. And tell your mama to watch this shit, boy.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.